I'm stuck abroad. SEF never scheduled my appointment, my landlord canceled the lease, and a client pulled a €4,000 contract. What do I do? Welcome to Portugal Rights Revel, Episode 12. I'm Elena Vargas. Today, we tackle that exact nightmare and show you, step by step, how to turn those losses into a realistic compensation claim. Your rights don't disappear at the border. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to do 3 concrete things. Quantify losses the way courts want to see them, preserve and file a complaint that protects your deadlines, and pick a cost-effective legal route. Small claims, administrative remedies, or a civil suit. Here's the legal reality. The Portuguese state can be held liable when administrative inaction or wrongful decisions cause real, provable harm. 2 practical buckets matter: failures inside administrative procedures and civil liability for wrongful acts by public bodies. Judges want a causal link. Did the administration's conduct directly cause your loss? We'll focus on building that link. A short note on administrative silence. When an authority doesn't decide within the legal time frame, the silence can be treated as a constructive answer, sometimes favorable, sometimes not. Which rule applies depends on the procedure. That's why a time-stamped complaint matters. It freezes the timeline. Okay, the practical core. Start a single damage ledger today. 1 file, 1 source of truth. Create categories: lost rent and deposits, lost contract revenue, additional travel and accommodation costs, bank charges and penalties, and demonstrable consequential losses, like canceled client work. For every line, you must have a number and supporting proof. No guesses, no about amounts. Courts want verifiable euros and clear sources. Example to make it concrete. Rent, €1,200 per month for 3 months equals €3,600. Lost client contract, €2,500. Flight change fee, €350. Total, €6,450. Every euro in that total must link to a bank transfer, invoice, signed contract, or time-stamped email. You might be thinking, can I actually get that back? Short answer, yes, sometimes. But only if you map each euro to a piece of evidence and show the administration's action or inaction caused the loss. What counts as solid evidence? Bank statements with transfers, invoices and signed contracts, or explicit email acceptances, receipts for travel and accommodation, screenshots of canceled bookings with timestamps, and certified mail receipts for complaints you send. If a landlord canceled a lease, get that cancellation in writing. A time-stamped WhatsApp or email works when accompanied by screenshots and deposit accounting. Collect witness statements if a third party can confirm the impact, like a client who canceled work because you were stranded. Next, preserve everything, then create a formal record. File an official complaint with SEF or AIMA using their complaint channel and send a registered copy by post or certified delivery. That establishes a filing date and starts procedural timeframes. If the complaint doesn't move, you typically have administrative appeal options. If appeals fail or aren't available, you can bring a civil claim for state liability. For modest sums, small claims or simplified procedures keep costs down and move faster. Choosing the route depends on the size of your loss, the strength of evidence, and, importantly, the deadlines. Miss a deadline and you can lose the right to sue. So file the complaint early, then assess options with a lawyer. How to find a lawyer? Look for Portuguese attorneys with administrative law experience. Ask for sample briefs, recent case results, and references. Get a written fee agreement and push for limited scope work. Fixed fee to draft the complaint, capped fee for the first filing, or a small success fee. Avoid open-ended hourly retainers unless you're pursuing a large claim where full litigation is likely. For many expats, a targeted complaint and a single courtroom filing is the smartest cost control. Here's an evidence checklist to hand your lawyer. the damage ledger, bank statements, invoices and signed contracts, cancellation emails, certified mail receipts, screenshots with timestamps, and any witness statements. Curious. 2 anonymized outcomes I see often. A win where the claimant provided a detailed ledger, bank transfers, and a landlord's written cancellation. The court awarded damages because causation was clear. And a loss where the claimant relied on oral claims, had no receipts for lost income, and filed late. The judge dismissed it, despite real hardship. Warnings you need to accept. Litigation can cost more than the recovery, and the burden of proof is on you. Statutes of limitation and procedural deadlines vary. Check them immediately. If your documentary record is thin, think twice before escalating without counsel. Immediate action. Open your damage ledger now. Record dates, amounts, one-line descriptions, and where the evidence lives. Then send a brief, signed, registered complaint to the responsible authority, summarizing the facts and attaching the initial proof. That preserves your timeline and gives you standing to escalate. Download the damage ledger and short complaint template at portugalrightsrebel.com/episode 12 and start your log in the next 24 hours. If your ledger shows material loss, book an intake with a vetted Portuguese administrative law attorney for a quick fee estimate. The system is slow. Your preparation shouldn't be. Start the ledger, file the complaint, and make the administration account for the costs it caused you. Turn bureaucracy into accountability. Knowledge is your best defense. Document everything, act lawfully, and protect your future. Always consult a qualified Portuguese lawyer for your specific case. Your rights don't disappear at the border. Thanks for listening to Portugal Rights Rebel. Share this with an expat who's stuck waiting. Check the show notes for templates and lawyer intake links, and we'll see you next time.